did this more intense feeling of worry that you're experiencing start when you moved out of your parents' house?
Um, yeah, I guess maybe around then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like 7 or 8 months ago, I'd
Okay,
say.
so that's about the same time that you moved out and you
Yeah.
felt this as feeling. Okay. So you said that you have a lot of worry about school. Do you have any worry towards your family or in any other area of your life where you feel worry?
I'm kind of worried about work too, I guess
Okay.
now, because I guess my performance hasn't been the best, it seems.
Mm.
Like I've had like a lot of trouble kind of getting to work on time
Mm-hmm.
and stuff and making it there, and then like I just can't even concentrate when I'm at work either, so I'm always like screwing stuff up. Or like I'll forget things too. That happens a lot. Like my boss will tell me to do something and then I'll just completely forget about it, and then I'll get in trouble for it. So
Okay. So if I'm understanding correctly, you said that work has been also, you've had a lot of worry about work because it's hard to get there on time, and it's hard to concentrate and focus on tasks, so that has resulted in you making more mistakes while you're in work.
yeah.
Okay. May I ask if you said that you aren't able to get to work on time? Is that because you're having a transportation issue, or is that more maybe not feeling motivated enough to get ready on time?
No, I just kind of, I guess part of it's managing my own time.
Okay.
So I haven't been able to, I guess when I do wake up, it's hard for me. It's not hard to get up, but it's hard to, I guess, get everything that I need to get done in the morning and then be able to make it on time to work, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So I'm just, I don't know, when I wake up, I'm always like super, before work at least, I'm always super like scatterbrained and yeah.
Okay. And you said that you also have a difficulty concentrating at work. Do you also experience that difficulty in concentration in school?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I can hardly pay attention to lectures and stuff, and like I have a hard time like not falling asleep in class. Like I'm always just super worn out or like tired, and in general, it's like even if I'm not feeling like that, for example, if I don't have work or something on that day, but I have school, like during lecture, it's just like I can just barely keep my mind on focused on that, it seems like. So
Okay. And so I know you mentioned earlier that you coming in was to just get understanding more of what's been going on. I just wanted to ask a couple questions about how you've explained to me is that you're worrying about everything. So I in defining what everything is, we said school is something you worry about, work is something you worry about. Are there any other things that you worry about? Maybe more about yourself, or worrying that something might happen to you or happen to others?
I guess I'm worried about my family, but more so, I guess, their opinions of me, if that makes sense. So, I don't know, I guess there's just been some tension lately between my parents and I. Yeah.
Okay, could you tell me a little bit more about that? I know that oftentimes you specified that you're the oldest, so a lot of times there are more expectations placed on the oldest sibling or things like that. So tell me about your family. How you say you only have one brother and your parents. So how, maybe you could talk a little bit about what it was living with them, and then we can talk more about maybe what's why you guys are butting heads a little bit.
Okay. Well, while we were living together, I'd say we were a pretty tight-knit family. For the most part, like we got along and stuff like that. Obviously, there's like conflicts sometimes, like with any family. But for the most part, we did get along pretty well. My parents are definitely a little more on the traditional side, so they're they identify as Catholic.
Okay.
So I feel like sometimes we kind of butt heads over different like ideas, if that makes sense. Let's see what else.
Just to clarify, are you saying that their sort of Catholic traditional views maybe determine the expectations they have for you, and so that in that sense, kind of the what they expect out of you doesn't align with what you expect out of yourself or what you believe in?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, I guess they're pretty like hardworking people too. So they just like, I guess they always expect like a lot out of me and stuff like that. And I mean, I expect a lot out of myself as well. But I'm going. I guess I'm just like going at my own pace. But they definitely want me to be going like a little bit quicker, if that makes sense too.
So I'm understanding, is it that they want you to have a job that pays you well, or?
Yeah, they want like a well-paying job, or they want me to have a well-paying job, and then they obviously want me to do well in school and stuff, and I'm trying my best, but yeah.
Yeah. And then school is a longer process, right?
Yeah,
it takes a couple of years to get a degree.
Yeah, and I guess I'm taking a bit of a slower route than most people too. So
Okay.
yeah.
Do you feel that the route you're taking right now is best for you, is suitable, and for you to be able to do well?
Yeah, I'd say so. I would prefer to go quicker, but like as of right now, this is like the best that I think I can do.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm still struggling. So.
So you let's think about that feeling of worry that you have while you're in class. So in those moments, what do you think of?
I guess I just think about like all the other things I have to be doing too. So like I have to like clean my room or clean the house, and then I have to like think about, what time to wake up for work tomorrow, or like what assignments are due, or if I missed a reading, like when I need to make that up, and like how I'm gonna manage all of that and kind of make time for all of it. So it's mostly stuff like that.
Okay, so from what I'm understanding is that you're worried about maybe the next day's tasks or the tasks that you didn't complete.
Yeah.
That still need to be done. Okay, and so when you're at school, you say you have that same worry. Do you think about the same things? I mean, excuse me, while you're at work, you also describe that you have that sense of worry. Do you think about the same things, or is it something different? Same things? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's on my mind for sure.
Okay. So far, what from what you're telling me, it seems like you've moved to this area a few months ago, and it was a transition for you into this new space. Although you said that it is nice to have your own space and just your own little bit maybe more freedom to, get things that you want to do and done and things like that. However, you noticed how there's this intensified worry that you are experiencing that is affecting your school life and your work life. And so that has led you to have difficulty concentrating in school and at work. Okay. And so I'm going to shift a little bit. I want to just ask you a few questions more so you can define what this the worry that you're feeling, and maybe if it's, affecting you in other ways. When you are, in your typical day, would you say that you feel that feeling of worry most of the day?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So, would you say that it doesn't go away very often, or?
No, it's like usually there. I feel like even when I sleep, I worry too. Like it's in my dreams and stuff.
Okay. So how have you been able to sleep pretty well, or is it more lack of sleep, or just you're sleeping more?
I'd say it's more lack of sleep, because like I literally what I have to be doing. Like I'll literally dream about what I have to do and stuff, and then I'll wake up feeling like I haven't even slept at all. So I definitely definitely like lack of sleep, and sometimes I'll even like wake up in the middle of the night and I'll be like, because I'll be like so like just my mind is just going and going and going. So like I'll wake up and then it'll be really hard to go back to sleep because like I can't even get my mind to like calm down.
Mm-hmm. That must be hard to have, to not be able to have, maybe find a little bit of rest from those thoughts.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah.
It's like definitely been taking a toll on me.
Okay. And is there any moments where you don't feel that worry? Maybe even the last couple of months where you've experienced that you maybe feel a little bit more at peace, or that feeling of worry tends to go away? Maybe an activity that you do, or just maybe moments where you just don't feel that. Has that existed in the last couple of months?
Maybe like here and there if I have like a day off, if that makes sense, where I kind of just don't really do anything that day. So like I'll probably just kind of like hang out at my house, or like kind of just like watch like TV or something and like hang out with my cat.
Oh, nice. What's your cat's name?
Her name's Winnie.
Oh,
yeah.
Is she a new pet that you have, or someone you brought from home?
Yeah, she's new. I got her like about 2 or 3 months ago now. So
nice.
yeah, she's a bit of a handful, but I definitely like really appreciate her and stuff. And she's been really nice to have. She's pretty crazy, but it's like really nice when she like huddles with me and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So does she bring you a sense of comfort?
Yeah, I'd say so, definitely.
Okay, great. Okay. Well, I also you mentioned how in your family, right, you grew up in a more traditional family with influenced by Catholic values. And you've mentioned also how you always been a worrier, that's something that has existed in your past. So on the first part of about your family, has your family observed you maybe when you've had these more intense feelings of worry, and have they mentioned anything to you about how they see you, or maybe how they've noticed those things about you?
I mean, yes and no. So like when I am like worrying a lot and stuff like that, and they pick up on it, or like I say something that like tells them that I'm worrying a lot, they just tell me basically that like I'm overreacting and stuff like that. So it's more that they'll notice it, but they'll kind of brush it off. That's typically how it goes. They just tell me like I'm like, oh, you're like worrying too much, or like it's not that big of a deal kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you did mention how your family is maybe more work ethic or more work oriented, so that your parents are hardworking. Does that seem like a pressure to you to constantly be working? And you said you are taking a little bit of a longer path in school, or a slower path in school. So does that add to your worry that you aren't, working as hard as them, or working to the standard that they maybe have set for you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's like always been like that, I guess, if that makes sense. Like it's always been expected that we at least what we're doing, like we put as much effort into it as we can, or that we're trying our best with it. But they definitely like expect to see results and stuff. So.
Okay. And then you said earlier, you talked about how you guys have been clashing. And I wanted to first ask, did that start before you moved out of the house, or has that happened now that you're away from the home?
I think that it was happening like a little bit before I moved out, but it definitely started happening more frequently when I moved out. I guess maybe just because we don't see each other as much anymore, so they can't like always see what I'm doing, or I'm not always like staying up to date with them. Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other reasons why you guys have clashed? Any specific details?
I mean, maybe, but nothing's like jogging my memory right now.
Okay,
so.
that's okay.
Yeah.